You heard it from Coach Rushauer, right? Is that his name?
Rauscher.
Rushauer?
I think it's Rauscher.
Rauscher, whatever. You heard from Coach. On Friday, my guy looked like a world beater.
That's right.
On Saturday, he looked like egg beaters. You know what I'm saying?
Beautiful, Jurk. That's what he said about Braxton.
Right. That's what he said, which is why. Because what happens on games matters more than what it does in practice. That's why. Okay, it looks great Monday through Friday. What does it look like on Sunday? That's why it matters what happens on Sunday.
Let's grab some calls if you want to talk Bears. Are you a little concerned about the state of the O-line right now and just how much it appears to still be in flux? 312-332-3776. And our buddy Ed in Plainfield. We'll kick things off. What's up, Eddie?
Guys, I'm in mid-season form with my annoyance. So I go back to last year. Remember, last time I called, I joked about they were being fitted for their off-season championship rings. That's why they didn't play in Game 1 against Buffalo.
That's right.
This goes back to last year. They should have never brought Eberflus back. And when they drafted, at the time, those third and fourth round picks were horrible. I want brain surgeons. I want guys that are going to cure cancer. I don't want offensive linemen from Harvard. I want guys from Nebraska, Iowa, Ohio State, Michigan, and then the fact he took the punter. We've all chewed that grass, and we're in agreement on that. But this year, I know they took Burden, and I knew they took Trapio, who's a second-round pick as well. But the arrogance, you said it, Carm. Braxton Jones just isn't good enough. I don't care what the PFF numbers are. The eye test tells me he's a lower to second half of the NFL offensive lineman for left tackle rating. That's what he is. He's not going to get any better. How many years has he been in the league? It's just arrogance, and they're going to get the quarterback killed if they don't shore that up. And the fact that they're trying to light a fire under guys is a complete joke, and it goes back to polls.
Thanks, Eddie. Yeah, it does feel that way when you watch Braxton Jones, and I normally push back against that stuff. Like, the data's important and it's real and it works and it's there. You know, you can gain. There are certain gains you can get out of it, but and I'm like, how much do our eyes really know? But I don't. It doesn't look right.
Trust
most
your
of the
eyes,
time with
Mark.
Braxton Jones.
Trust your eyes.
I don't think he's the worst left tackle I've seen in the NFL. I don't think he's anywhere near the best.
Yeah.
Is he somewhere in the bottom half? I mean, I think on most games we look at it and go, geez, not good enough. Not good enough. And I think they did know that coming in. And he's coming off of surgery, which is never a great thing. Yeah, I know I don't know how much we want to continue to relitigate or relive, like with some of the previous draft picks and some of the approaches and the things they've done. I can think of one good offensive lineman from Harvard in the history of the league. And I'm a guy who went to Yale anyway.
Yeah.
We're crossing up our Ivy League schools. Matt Burke was a Harvard kid. Matt Burke was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are others, too. I just, off the top of my head, I can't think of...
he replaced Jeff Christie eventually up there.
Yeah, he was great.
And Jeff Christie was a hell of a player.
Yes. So I don't mind if my offensive linemen come from an Ivy League school, as long as they're good, as long as they can play. And Amagaji, unfortunately, was coming off of an injury and then has, again, not been able to stay on the field here in camp. And like Tom Thayer told us the other day, that's a problem. And Braxton's coming back off of surgery. And I don't know how good he is anyway, and that's a problem. And Trapillo really hasn't done enough to take the job, and now he's getting reps at right. That's a problem. Yeah, they're all things that are a little concerning. And when you build out your roster, you better be looking at where you are really weak and where you're deficient.
I love what I heard out of the offensive line coach. Basically said our right tackle's a little bit portly right now and needs to get in better shape so it can have more of a consistent effort over the course of time. Specifically citing the fact that when he gets fatigued, he loses all semblance of technique and everything that's necessary.
That's where it starts to break
down.
And
in the left tackle position, he basically said, listen, nobody is grasping this thing right now. I've got an open competition because nobody is playing to a level that matters for us. So we need to see better play out of both parties for us to have a chance to maybe be successful.
And again, Theo Benedette got the first set of reps with the first team.
You can play well against the 2s and 3s, but you got to play against the 1s.
During 11-on-11 today. And then they did start working Braxton Jones back in. We'll get a full camp report a little bit later when we talk to Waddle and Sylvie during Crosstalk in a couple hours because the guys are up there today. So they're watching camp. They'll broadcast live. And then tomorrow's the joint practice, and Courtney Cronin will join us live tomorrow. Okay, True Fan Travel and ESPN Chicago are teaming up for the ultimate fan getaway to Sin City. That's right. We're going to see the Bears take on the Raiders in Vegas at the end of September. It's going to be great.
What do you get? Round trip airfare. You get a 3-night stay at Mandalay Bay. You got special live broadcasts of all the fellas. We're going to be there, guys. It's going to be Friday. It's going to be Saturday. It's going to be all the stuff on Sunday. It's going to be fantastic. You get to meet the ESPN Radio Chicago 1000 team, all-inclusive tailgate with all the bells and the whistles. Tickets to the Bears-Raiders game, which is probably the most important thing in the world, and there's more to come.
All right, spots are limited, so do not wait. Reserve your spot today at truefantravel.com.
Boom.
Chase is on the south side. What's up, Chase?
Hey, fellas, what's going on? How you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah. So, listen, when I hear reports like that, I'm not going to lie to you, it really irritates me. And the reason why, I'm more mad at Poles because, when I hear these are guys that Poles drafted and scouted, and you mean to tell me that these guys, obviously these guys can't play. Amagaji obviously hasn't looked that good. Trapillo, the guy he drafted, from what we heard, has not looked good. Braxton Jones, the guy he's evaluated, hasn't looked good. Darnell Wright, guy he drafted.
Yes. Did we lose him?
Chase?
I
don't know.
Hello.
Chase is going through cell hell, I guess, there. Yes, he's making the point again that the draft picks for a former offensive lineman haven't been all that great just yet. I can't explain why some guys have a blind spot for certain positions, and it always does seem weird. Not weird, I guess, but it strikes me as strange when we do see from time to time guys who played that position at the highest or very high levels, and then they still have a blind spot for it. I don't know why that is. I can't answer it. I don't know why John Elway thought Paxton Lynch was a
Quarterback.
A
viable quarterback.
I can't answer.
6'7".
I can't answer that. John Elway was convinced that Paxton Lynch was going to be a star NFL quarterback.
Yes.
John Elway knows a thing or two about being a star NFL quarterback. I can't explain it. I don't know why Michael Jordan had so many problems identifying who is and isn't a good basketball player. Help me. Somebody figure it out. How can the greatest basketball player of all time scout basketball players and not know which ones to pick? Completely not have no clue.
What can't you measure?
On who is going to be good and who's going to be bad.
What can't you measure, though? The level of compete that an individual has. You can't,
that's very
it's
true,
an
Eric.
intangible. You can't measure toughness. You want to think you can, but you can't. You also can't measure what makes a man click. They tried
I hear
to.
all that. I know.
They tried to.
But
what drove Jordan? What drove him?
Well, what his?
I mean,
he was maniacal.
That was the difference maker. How maniacal is maniacal? What level of insanity does Jordan need to have where he can sit there in his own brain and drive himself to the point where he becomes the greatest player that ever, by far, with a discussion not even to be had about who could compete with him. Just who's number 2 or 3, never who's number 1, because it's always Michael Jordan.
So why does Poles have a tough time identifying tackles and linemen that are going to fire at this level? So far, the track record just isn't very good. Even some of the free agent signings, Tooney's a stud. We know Tooney's a stud. The Bears saw an opportunity and they pounced, and I'll give them credit for that, right? They saw an opportunity and they pounced. And he knows that organization well, and he's got ties there, and they made that deal happen. And that's great. But a lot of the other guys, the Coleman Sheltons, the Ryan Bateses, the the draft picks. Who am I blanking on when they hired Getsy? They brought the kid from Green Bay. Why am I blanking on him?
The center?
Yeah,
The one that
center
loved to go
guard.
the one that loved to go backwards?
Yeah, why am I blanking on
He was
his
here
name?
only a year?
Yeah, forgive me. I'm blanking.
Because
Lucas Patrick.
he was forgettable.
Like,
He was
it's like it's a
forgettable.
lot of been mostly forgettable guys, and
Yeah.
these are your GM played Division One offensive
Played
line.
the position.
Went to training camp in the NFL as an offensive lineman. But it appears to have a tough time identifying who's a good offensive lineman.
You've participated in triathlons, right?
I have.
Right? You've gone through it and you've seen people
We
pull
get
off
it,
to
you
the
work
side
out.
and stop.
But I don't know what Adam.
I know he's
Is he making fun of me now?
Yeah,
Yes,
he
I've
is.
seen people stop.
You've seen
yes.
people stop. And then you've seen people that should stop but don't.
Yes.
Why? That's
Do you know
my
the first
point.
one I ever
That's
did?
why you can't. You don't know sometimes because when one person is ready to stop at the slightest discomfort and the other guy with all the discomfort in the world won't stop, why won't he stop? That's what you can't measure. Why he won't stop when he should.
The first one I ever did, I got kicked in the face in the swim and just swallowed a bunch of water.
Yeah.
And it freaked me out. I mean, your heart's already going. It's like the first one I ever did.
It's a mile a minute.
And I'm super excited. And then sure
Some
enough,
guy
I
gave
swallow
you
water.
A kung fu kick.
Yeah,
right to the
I
face.
swallow a bunch of water, and now I'm panicking.
Yeah.
I can't get my rhythmic breathing down. So
Sure.
then I start just with my head above the water. I'm going over to
it
the
out.
side at Lake. We're in Lake Michigan.
Yeah,
I'm
I know where
trying
you're
to,
at.
and I'm telling myself, just take 5 seconds and calm yourself down.
Yeah.
And that actually was all it took.
That's right.
And then it was like, okay, I
Let's
can.
get back into the lane. I'll make it up.
I
in
mean,
the
I
bike
went
and
from
the
like,
right.
I've got to stop. I can't go on. And I'm like,
Yeah.
just calm yourself down.
Yeah.
Calm your breathing down. Calm yourself down and
That's
go.
my point. Some people just go to the side, and other people will find a way to work through it.
Your brain will always quit before your body does, Carm.
That's a line from something.
Unless you got to poop. And then you should just wait till you're in the lake part. for
Yeah,
that.
right, exactly.
Boy, I've ran enough races. I've seen that doesn't stop people either.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Well
is that why people need to
just-
stop?
You just see
Sometimes
people
you
letting it
gotta-
fly, man.
It's so gross.
It's like, what are you
Carm,
doing?
you've seen it.
I have.
The triathlons, you've seen people do that.
I have 100% absolutely
That's
positively
so
seen
gross.
it. It is gross.
I get it. Your PR is not worth that.
It's probably not.
Yeah, I agree. I've never been in a situation where I thought that I needed to sacrifice my own situation for like a PR time.
Yeah. You're like,
Although,
I'll go to the bathroom.
as a runner, if you're going number one, you figure out a way to get that accomplished.
Yeah, that's pretty
Like
good.
that's an old running trick. The hanging out the side and just keep trotting.
Well, that's
Eric,
what
have
I
you,
mean,
have you done
Some
that?
guys can't have clearance,
I've never
guys.
done that
Well,
either.
no,
actually.
you just gotta-
I don't have the clearance capabilities in this situation.
Maybe
Chris,
a hip,
good for you.
Maybe a
Chris
hip
has the clearance.
No, you got a little
kidding.
hip
It's done.
swivel.
It's just-
I don't.
I'm tucking it from his sock, and it's like, let's go. Good for Chris.
No, I'm just saying,
that
like,
weird muscle that guy got on the outside of his leg.
I'm saying all distance runners have tried it
That's
at some
amazing.
point.
It's like
You figure out, like, do I really need to stop or do we keep this little trot going?
like
I really have to wear short shorts.
like a baby's
Yeah, me
arm
too.
holding an orange.
I guess so. God bless.